All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. The Houston Texans have done it again. They've been doing it again, and they had done it again. Another masterclass performance, and we're not even 2 official days into free agency. Free agency actually technically begins in less than a day from now. Danielle Hunter is a Houston freaking Texan. Unbelievable. Danico Autry, Azeez Al-Shaair, Joe Mixon trade, Jeff Okudah, you name it. The Houston Texans, the 3-win team we were talking about at this time last season, who's going to be the quarterback? Who are they going to go with? D'Amico Ryans gets hired. They draft C.J. Stroud. They hit on so many free agent picks. They hit on so many draft picks. And they win 10 games. And they blow out the Cleveland Browns in the first game of the playoffs. The Houston Texans continue to blow my freaking mind. Guys, Danielle Hunter. I mean, it's unbelievable. This Houston Texans defense, they were pretty much a top 10 defense last season. Before we get any further into tonight's video, if you guys enjoy it, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. We post a ton of Texans videos on this channel. Texans fans, I'm shooting for the stars in this video. If we could try and get it to 1,000 likes, my mind would be as blown as the Danielle Hunter signing. But thank you guys so much for all the support. Danielle Hunter, 4-time Pro Bowler. I mean, it's just unbelievable to pair up with Will Anderson Jr. They pick up Danico Autry. But guys, he had 23 tackles for loss last season, 22 quarterback hits, 16 and a half sacks. Like I said, he's made 4 Pro Bowls. He's made several All-Pro teams, or one All-Pro team. You get the point. He's reliable. He's only missed 1 season in his long NFL career. He's in his he played 7 games. He's in the prime of his career. And I'm going to pair him up with Will Anderson Jr. It's unbelievable. Danielle Hunter's a Houston Texan, guys. This defensive line is absolutely loaded. And they did a phenomenal job last season in the offseason, and they're continuing to do an unbelievable job. They've had like 10 free agent signings to this point at the time of this recording already, but Danielle Hunter's an A-plus signing. You got him on a 2-year contract. It's about $50 million. A lot of that money's guaranteed. Keep in mind, the Houston Texans got money to spend, and you have your franchise guy. So now you just need to continue to build, I should say, a Super Bowl winning or Super Bowl caliber roster. And stars make plays, and stars make plays in the playoffs. And that's what ends up winning Super Bowls and playoff games. And Danielle Hunter is now a Houston Texan. I don't even know how many times I can say that in one video because it's unbelievable. That is an A-plus signing, and he completely takes the Houston Texans defense to the next level. But it doesn't even end just there. Now I've got Danico Autry. This is a move that flew, in my opinion, so under the radar. I texted a buddy, Chris, the guy who does my thumbnails. I was like, are you kidding me? They just picked up Danico Autry. Like, I've seen some stuff on Twitter. I've seen some ramblings. The dude's a monster. I get it. He's a little bit old, but he's durable. He's reliable. Last season, 17 quarterback hits, 50 total tackles, 11 and a half sacks. He played in all 17 games. This is a guy who is a double-digit sack player to pair up with Danielle Hunter, to pair up with Will Anderson Jr., and D'Amico Ryans as that coach. I mean, what Houston's building right now is a elite level roster, and it's only improving. They're hitting on draft picks. They're hitting on free agents. Now they're getting superstar and star level players in free agency with all this cap space that they have to spend. And it doesn't end just there. You know, we'll talk about guys like Jeff Okudah and Mike Ford in later videos because, you know, we're talking big hitters in tonight's one. Azeez Al-Shaair. I mean, another super under the radar move from the Tennessee Titans. 163 total tackles last year. Played in all 17 games. He had 2 sacks as well. He broke out. He broke out into a star, and he's going to be cemented as a star defensive player, a star defensive lineman or linebacker in the NFL with D'Amico Ryans and this team next season. Like Danielle Hunter, Danico Autry, and Azeez Al-Shaair. It just is actually crazy to me. The Houston Texans won 3 games less than 2 years ago, dude. I just cannot believe it. They are running a masterclass performance, world-class organization over in Houston. Like I said, we'll talk about all the other defensive acquisitions, and I'm sure more are coming in the next couple of days as free agency officially begins tomorrow. They're going to continue to fill out their roster, continue to get depth players, and probably a couple of more big-time names. But phenomenal moves on the defensive side. A plus. It doesn't get any better than that. Let me know what you guys are thinking down below, but A plus in my opinion. They also picked up Joe Mixon via trade. Now I get it. Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry's a Baltimore Raven, Saquon to the Eagles. I get it. But it's a loaded running back draft class or running back free agency class. And you still have Dameon Pierce. Devin Singletary is gone now. Devin did a great job last year when he was fully implemented as the day one starter. But, Joe Mixon just really elevates their offense, in my opinion. Like I said, with the Danielle Hunter acquisition, not at the Danielle level, but Joe Mixon can play. 27 years old. He's coming off a season where he rushed for over 1,000 yards, 9 total touchdowns. And keep in mind, Joe Burrow, and he played all 17 games, very important for the running back position. This isn't a season where Joe Burrow was injured. And, Jake Browning did a really good job when his name was called, but having 1,000-yard running back in a season where your starting quarterback goes down really early on in the season is very impressive. And I don't even really need to speak much on Joe Mixon. He's a Pro Bowler. At this point, 3 years ago, he had 1,200 rushing yards, 13 total touchdowns. I can also catch. This past season, 52 catches, 376 yards. He averages over 50 yards per receiving every single game in his entire NFL career. That's his career receiving per game stat. Like, he's dual threat, and he's just a playmaker, and he already elevates his team, and we haven't even seen him play a snap. So now the Houston Texans offense is looking like CJ Stroud, Joe Mixon, Nico Collins, Tank Dell, Dalton Schultz was also re-signed, and I still have Noah Brown. Now, here's where I'm curious where my Texans fans watching this video right now stand on the wide receiver position, because Noah Brown can certainly play. Tank Dell unfortunately got injured, and Nico Collins pretty much officially established himself as a star wide receiver in the NFL. Mike Evans, I thought always was a long shot. Obviously, he re-signed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but there's still some good wide receivers out. There's a ton of actually good wide receivers out there. But now that I think about it, we haven't seen too many wide receivers in free agency thus far. Some guys I remember talking about in recent videos were Tyler Boyd, Curtis Samuel. Keep in mind, Houston does have their first overall pick. I think I talked about like Brian Thomas Jr. a couple of videos ago. I'm still thinking they're going to go probably a veteran, not like 33 years old, but like a 27, 28, 29-year-old receiver, just as extra help, and probably address it through the draft as well. So the point is, the Houston Texans offseason is far from finished. Free agency is far from finished, and Houston has already killed it. They've already done a phenomenal job, as expected, honestly, but they continue to just blow my mind. So that's it for me. Hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. We post a ton of Texans videos on this channel, but guys, most importantly, give me a great rating on the Houston Texans offseason thus far. Peace.